Welcome to a new episode of Showing Up Solo. These days, it's not enough to be a small business owner. You also have to be an online marketing expert, an accountant, a website designer, a content creator, and the list goes on. You know how important marketing is, but if you're spending all your time selling your services, how will you have any time left to actually provide them? That's where Showing Up Solo comes in. Showing Up Solo is a video podcast giving you the ins and outs of online marketing from solopreneurs just like you. Tune in every other Wednesday for easy to implement advice, guest experts, and plenty of food analogies. Thanks for tuning in, and now, on to the main episode.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Showing Up Solo.
Today we are talking about engagement.
And what the heck it is.
It's one of those things that like you hear the word, but really what does it mean?
Yeah, and I can't count how many times I've had conversations with clients where I'm like, so are you doing engagement? And they're like, huh?
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'm scanning through my the people I follow and I like what they're doing.
Yeah.
But
so
there's more.
There's more to it. So there's the engagement rates, which you might have heard about on your analytics, where you look in numbers and you see how many likes you're getting and views and comments and saves and all that jazz and shares. So that is engagement that can be measured, obviously, but it's more than what you're receiving. It's more than getting likes and comments. It's also about you participating in the conversation on social media.
Yeah. So engagement really is about building communication that's two-way. So somehow when a question is proposed to you, not only are you participating in answering it, but you're doing it in a way that's invoking another question back, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to draw on my good old retail experience analogies here, but it's like you walk into a store and the sales associate says hello, and then you say hello, and that's it. That's not engagement. Even the salesperson saying hello, they're not really engaging with you. Yeah. That's just an automatic response. You know, maybe they'll do the, how are you? And then you'll say, I'm just browsing.
Yeah. You're like, leave me alone.
I'm just browsing. I can't tell you how many times I've had those.
Yeah.
It's just very autopilot-y, and it doesn't feel organic.
No.
Right?
And it also doesn't feel like someone really cares, you know?
Exactly.
When someone, using your retail experience, when I walk into a store and someone walks up and they're like, hi, how was your day? Is there something you're looking for in particular?
Yeah.
To be honest, usually if I'm going into a store, there is something I'm going in particular because I don't go into stores.
No,
so
you don't have time to browse anymore.
No. So it's I actually do. And thank you for asking me because I want to get it right now.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to talk about my husband here for a moment because he and I actually both worked for the same retail company at one point in different stores. But he's the only one I know who he would do the hello, and the person would say hello, and then he'd say, how are you? And they'd say, I'm just browsing. And he'd go, I'm just saying hello. I'm just asking how you are. And they'll go, oh, I'm sorry. And because his manner is very engaging, it sounds like he genuinely just wants to know how you're doing today. And, you know, he's not trying to sell you anything.
And because he said that, I bet they probably thought, oh, I kind of want to talk to him more. I'm going to go to that person when I actually need help.
Yeah.
Because,
exactly. I tried it once. I'm not as good at, I can't get the tone quite right. Yeah. But I did try it once, and this person goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I was just really rude. But it started, it became a sales conversation. Yeah. Because I snapped them out of their autopilot. Yeah. So that's what a good engagement strategy is when you snap someone out of autopilot, and you start a conversation.
Yeah.
You don't have to make them feel like they're being, like, feel bad or anything, but it's just an example of snapping someone out of autopilot. Instead of saying, oh yeah, how's the weather or whatever, you say, like, I don't know, like, you just, you start with open-ended questions.
Yeah.
Right?
Something that, like, gets someone to open up more. And it's also a great way to find out more information about your ideal client.
Yes. I always like to say, like, at the start of a conversation with someone, you should be asking questions they can't just say yes or no to, right? That they have to respond with something more. You know, how do you feel? Why do you feel? You know, what do you know?
And I think one big thing that I know for a lot of service providers, they're scared to ask what they think is a personal question because they're worried about someone feeling uncomfortable answering it.
Yeah.
The thing is about people answering questions is they will answer it if they want to. And if they want to, that means they want to engage with you.
Exactly. People love talking about themselves.
Yes.
And that's the thing. No one's going to do anything they don't want to do.
Exactly.
No one's got a gun to their head while they're on social media saying, you have to respond when someone asks you a question.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's their time. If they feel like engaging with you, they will respond.
And there's so much benefit from a question that gets them to think within, not just like surface area, you know, something that's like, huh, I didn't think of it that way. And then the conversation continues.
Yeah. Like, so there's some easy tricks to increase your engagement, that you can use as call to actions in your social media posts. Like describe yourself in 3 emojis. Yeah. And it can be a fun way to get some extra comments, but that only goes so far if that's all you do. And you just like everybody's. If you then go, what you want to do is take it a step further and go, that's really interesting. What made you choose those emojis?
Yeah.
And then that's inviting a deeper conversation. Yeah. So you have to, like, you can find easy ways to start the conversation, which is the how are yous. But then you have to keep the conversation going by asking them about themselves before you can talk about yourself.
One big one I like to use in my call to action is if my post is about really trying to identify with a problem that they have and walking them through to a solution that I want to help them with. My question to them, my CTA might be like, what kind of challenges do you find?
Yeah.
You know, really trying to, okay, so this was one problem that I've seen. What other problems do you have? Because then that's like more information gathering for me.
Exactly. Another thing I see people who maybe have been told how important engagement is they'll go, okay, so I go and I look up this hashtag and I like the first 10 posts. Yeah. Or whoever's commented, I go to their profile and I like their first 10 posts or I comment. That's, again, it's autopilot behavior.
Yeah.
And it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. You do want to reciprocate people engaging with your content. So if someone is taking the time to comment on your content, and I'm not talking about like a hey girl and a fire emoji. Yeah. You know, I mean someone who's actually read your caption and responded to it.
Yeah.
You want to go to their content, but you want to find a piece that you can add something to. Like, yeah, they've asked a question that you can respond to. Like maybe they've shared some advice and you can talk about how useful it is, but don't just go and like their last 10 posts.
I have to say, when someone that is engaging in my profile, when they go in through my account and they actually go through my posts, and I find that like they're like 20 posts in and they leave a comment, to me that shows like, okay, you've committed some time to actually like spend some time in my account. Yeah. That means that like you are invested in sharing your time with me. Yeah. To me, that's like, okay, like, yeah, I want to reciprocate that.
Exactly. When someone like comments on an older one and go, oh my God, you put this, I love this post. And it's like, oh, thank you. Like, yeah, that's from so long ago, but you actually took the time to look through that. Yeah. So that's what you need to be doing. That's the behavior you need to be.
It's just showing authenticity. And also showing that like you're willing, like you actually, it's that you invested some time into someone else.
It's a two-way street. You're not just there to sell them something.
Exactly.
It's, I'm going to go back to my retail analogy, but like, okay, so when you walk into a store, that is a place of business. You assume that someone's going in there. There's some intent to purchase.
Yeah.
Right? They might just be browsing, but they've just signaled an interest in what you have to offer by entering there. So it is okay to start selling right there.
Yeah.
But social media isn't that. Social media is if social media is the window display.
Yeah.
They're still on the street. They haven't gone in the store yet. So if you're stood by the door trying to sell someone something, anyone who walks past,
yeah,
no one's going to come in the store.
Those are the people I tried to run past. They're like, excuse me, ma'am, have you seen my free? And I'm like,
nope.
Please don't look at me. Please don't look at me.
Yeah. Nope. If I'm interested, I will come to you.
Yeah.
And people can be very tempted to just skip to the sales pitch.
Yeah.
And especially I hate it when you get a DM and there's just someone like, and
they
they
girl.
And they do that. Maybe they'll do like, tell me about your business struggles. And oh my God, that's so interesting. Here's my coaching program that I have.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you actually took the time to read my profile and my content, you'd see that I don't need that. That's not something I'm interested in.
It's funny because I just had someone reach out to my account and they were like, hey, I'm a counselor for couples that are divorcing and like how to split apart and move on with families. And I was like, well, for one, if you would have saw my account, I'm happily married with children and I'm not close to divorce, but like, I'm not your ideal client.
Yeah. Or I get those people reaching out like, hey, do you want to learn about social media and marketing? And I'm like, have you looked at my profile?
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what I do.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, like if I'm seeking that knowledge, I will seek that knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? So
that actually makes me think of one thing that really just like, ooh, it's my pet peeve. Our follow ladders,
follow chains and like
ladders is like, you agree with someone else that like, if you like each other, you will like 10 other accounts, but you're not exactly providing any genuine engagement. Yeah. So essentially it's building your follower count, but it's really not providing you with any authentic or genuine followers. It's not your ideal client.
Yeah, you're better to have a smaller audience of engaged, interested parties than a large audience of just anybody. Like, it's like, imagine you're standing in a room filled with 100 random off the street people, and you're trying to talk to them. How many people are going to talk back? Versus sitting at a table with 10 people who are your ideal client. Yeah. You're going to have a way better conversation.
Yeah. And I think maybe those follow chains serve their purpose if like you're wanting to become an influencer. You know, if building your follower list is really important for you to get paid partnerships or things like that, maybe that's your thing. But if you're a service provider trying to sell services or products or courses, you want to have people who are invested in what you do. They are genuine, they are engaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've probably heard the term engagement, right? That's the percentage of your followers that are interacting with your content. So actually, the larger your audience, the more likes and comments and saves and shares you need to have a good engagement rate. Yeah. Versus having a smaller audience, but very active.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the other thing to consider. So,
and the biggest thing right now that we keep hearing from Instagram is you need to be showing genuine reels or video content to be rewarded by the algorithm gods.
Yeah. Basically, social media platforms are there to show us ads and to collect our data. Yeah. That's what they want to do. They're there. They're free to us because we volunteer our data and we'll sit through ads, and businesses will pay them to share their ads. That's what it is. That's what they are.
Yep.
The byproduct of that is that it's a social place.
Yeah.
And as a business owner who's using it for marketing, we have to do, like, our trade-off is we get a free place to market ourselves, but we have to play by their rules. And their goal is, like any social media platform, their goal is keep the user on the platform as long as possible so that they see as many ads as possible.
Yeah.
That is it. And so engaging content that shows that people are stopping the scroll and spending some time on the platform, they're going to promote that content because that's the content that's keeping users on the platform, right? It's the difference between, like, if you're watching reels, if you sit and you just watch a reel over and over again, like, you maybe spend a minute watching a reel versus just scrolling, the 10 seconds scroll through, oh, I'm bored and I put it down. Well, the reel that you spent time watching is going to get shared more.
Yeah.
That's where the trending things come from. It's because people are spending time paying attention to it.
Yeah, so and that's why providing, like, really good information in those reels that keep people like, okay, so I didn't get all of it, I need to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah.
That really boosts your engagement and your reach.
Yeah, and it's actually, I think about this with YouTube a lot. So I follow quite a few YouTubers. I like to watch various crafters. Shout out to Mariah Elizabeth and Nerdy Crafter, and I love you guys. But, like, for example, I noticed with Mariah Elizabeth, her more recent content, there's more commercials and longer commercials because she's so freaking popular. She's got, like, over 7 million followers, and people love her content. I love her content. I know that it's going to come out at 1 p.m. every Friday, so I'm going to be there and watch it. And I will sit through those commercials. So, like, her content, that's why because people are sitting through and watching it, so she can make money off of it, through people just willing to sit there. And she very rarely does, like, sponsorships anymore because she doesn't need to, because so many people watch it and then they watch the ads and she makes money that way. Yeah. Because her content is engaging. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, so in terms of engagement, I think we already reviewed the 4-step strategy with engagement.
But maybe not, like, laid them out.
So let's maybe just outline them.
Yeah, just to summarize. So this is what I like to call, like, the 4 steps to a good engagement strategy. Yeah. And it's based on, like, how much time you have available. So number 1, essential, like and respond to comments. So whatever you posted recently, if someone's commented on it, take the time to like it and respond. And again, respond with an open-ended question so that you're getting them to respond further and you can start to have a conversation. Step 2, reciprocate that interaction. Yeah. So whoever's been taking the time to comment and then and also like your content, go to their profiles and find content to engage with. Again, something that you can actually contribute to. Yeah.
Either meaningful,
either asking a question or adding an anecdote or something. Yeah. Don't just put an emoji. Actually go and engage with their content. So reply, reciprocate. Yeah. Then you want to look at your followers who still fit into the ideal client category, but aren't necessarily engaging with your content, and you want to reignite that relationship. So then you go to their content and you, again, find ways to engage with that content to put yourself back on their radar. Yeah. And then the final one is then it's research. Oh my God, I found 4 R's. I love that. Is research. Then you start to type in hashtags that you think your ideal client will be posting to. Yeah. Right? So not necessarily what you're doing. Like, for example, if we were looking for therapists, we might do hashtag therapy life or something like that. Not hashtag marketing. Yeah. Right? and you go into their content and then you start to find their content and engage with it. And so try to find opportunities to just start a conversation a little back and forth so that you get on their radar, and then they might follow you back and say, oh, look what this person has.
Yeah. I'm going to add one little bonus one that I like to do is for people that have liked and commented on my posts, I will go back to the last 5 and I will unlike them. And then I will, or like them again in their last 5 posts.
Oh.
Sometimes just to like, hey, I'm still here. So I liked it before. I still like it, but now I'm trying to get you back over to my account.
Oh.
So it's kind of warming up that relationship still. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm still not done with that conversation. I kind of want to like get back to us talking.
Yeah, let's get back onto this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is where bots come in, right?
The bots. I don't know if anyone's been noticing lately, but the bots have been
Out in force.
Yeah, they are aggressive lately.
Yeah, like there's definitely some that are triggered by location. Like
Yeah.
if you put anything in Canada, you're gonna get like 2 or 3 comments which are like promoted on at blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it's all from different random accounts, and it's always the same message. Those are bots.
Yeah.
Those are robots. You can tell because they happen like that. As soon as you post with a location, boom, you've got 3 of these comments.
Yeah.
Always, I report them as spam and I delete the comment because
Yeah.
it's not doing me any good. Like, yes, okay, it'll artificially boost my engagement rate, but they're not going to buy from me. They're spamming my content
Yeah.
with their promotion. So you don't want those people. You don't want them following you. You do not want them in your followers because they're just artificially inflating your numbers.
Exactly. So it actually affects your engagement rates because they're an account that's following you, but they're not engaging.
Yeah, we'll go back to that room full of people.
Yeah.
Imagine that room full of 100 people, but 50 of those 100 are just robots.
Yeah.
And you're trying to have a conversation and the robots aren't going to answer you.
Yeah.
Right? They're just programmed to give out the same message. They're not going to respond. So you've got even less of a chance of having a good conversation because they're taking up space.
So I actually try to do a more active role in combing through my bots or my fake account. So when I see a new follower, I actually look into their account and see like, okay, are you my ideal client? You are? Perfect. I'll like you.
I'll let you stay.
I'll let
and
you
I'll follow
stay.
you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're like, someone with like a random person and you're not my ideal client, then I'm really sorry, but I'm just going to force that unfollow.
Yeah. I'm just going to unfollow you and I don't want you there.
Yeah.
And you can always spot bots. They've got really random usernames and they maybe have 3 posts and they're really...
Or no posts and they have flags or emojis in their bio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they do have posts, like they might be 2 of the same photo, which are also the same photo as their profile picture, and like one other photo, and then like, a lot of them are like the selfie ones, and
which makes you think that someone stole those photos from someone else's account, which is also just like icky. Yeah,
it's just icky. I mean, there are some legit users out there. Like, I had someone follow me and I was like, oh, you look like such a robot. And then they actually happened to be like an entrepreneur that I knew.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I was like, dude, you've got to change. You got to brand up that Instagram account because you look like a bot.
Yeah.
You look like such a bot. So, like, not everybody is gonna, like, not everyone who looks like that is a robot, but
I think the main point of it is if they look like your ideal client, then keep them around.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then why have them as a follower?
They don't need your content. You're not making content for them.
Exactly.
You don't need to have them in your list because either, like, if they are a robot, they're just going to hold space and make your engagement rates look lower.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they really want to follow you, they will come back and follow you.
Yeah.
So yeah, be strategic with your followers, filter them.
So that's pretty much the most of our engagement episode. We really hope you got some great tips, especially from your 4-step engagement strategy.
Yeah, hope it kind of answered some questions you might have.
And try it out.
Yeah, and the key takeaway here is two-way conversation.
Yeah.
It benefits you because it snaps someone out of their autopilot and gets them thinking and talking to you. Plus, it benefits you because the algorithm is going to reward you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, engagement is very important.
So thanks for joining us for another episode of with Showing Up Solo.
We'll see you next episode. Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you're a fan of the Showing Up Solo podcast, you can show your support by liking, commenting, sharing, or leaving a review. Want to spend less time on your marketing and make better content? Head to showingupsolo.com to grab your free copy of our Full Circle Content Guide, the same time-saving method we use for creating our own content. Need more help getting your marketing in order? Learn how to build a marketing plan while working smarter, not harder. Our Setup for Success package gives you everything you need to create a marketing plan that is low maintenance, high impact, and perfect for generating consistent leads. Head to showingupsolo.com for more info. See you next episode.